It's the last Friday in January. It's time to end the week and partially end the month as we head into week ended. Stay tuned for your anchors. Here is our credits. And I have to look for the new one because we have a new one. Here you go. Welcome to the COMiX News Wire, where we get our news from the COMiX newsroom found at comicbookadvocates.com. Fridays just got more anchored as C. Michael Lanning takes over to be the head anchor on Weekended, and he will be joined by Meredith Logren. Together, they will bring you all the news you need to know from the week. This is Weekended. They give you the COMiX news coming off the wire. This show is brought to you in association with
At Geek Insider, we foster relationships with those in the geek sphere so we can give our audience the insider view of entertainment and more.
comicbookadvocates.com is the global digital Comic-Con, but it's more than that. And you can be more too. Be more than just a fan. Become an advocate for comics like comicbookadvocates.com is for their creators, for their crowdfunding, for the very books they're creating, because we love comics. Warning and disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on this live feed are those of the guests, speakers, and or hosts, and do not necessarily reflect the beliefs, official policies, ethics, or positions of the content providers, advertisers, additional hosts, and or guests, hosting sites, groups, or entities attached to this programming. Viewer discretion is advised. Back with our hosts, Meredith and C. Michael Lanning. Meredith, congratulations on the successful campaign this week.
Why, thank you. Pretty amazed with what happened there as far as the campaign. It was at the end of the day, 71 backers and 1315. Didn't quite make it to the third stretch goal, but I'm not complaining.
And we have C. Michael Lanning. How's the other Kickstarter? It's about to wrap up, right?
Yeah, last I checked, though, I'm not sure if we made any stretch goals or not. Hold on, give me just a second. And we're talking about Silverline's Teen Beetle and Switchblade double feature. Let's see, it is at 3,030 right now. I think we made our first stretch goal with quite a few backers. That's great. Of course, none of that's possible without our backers helping us out.
Mm-hmm.
Silverline loves its fans. I know I do.
I found out this week it's okay to brag about your successes online, so do it all the time.
Well, if you're a true fan.
I dared ask the question, and I got some gruff for it. It was a simple question. I want to know from the video audience: do you guys, as fans, just as fans, do you appreciate when someone takes the time to make a thread about how quickly they funded, and it's just a brag? And that was the point of the thread. It was when they were only bragging. Does that entice you? Not a thank you so much, not the thing that C. Michael Lanning said, not even Meredith, because she's like, you guys are amazing. I didn't expect it. No, these are people like, well, I did it faster than I did last time by an hour. Look how good I am at doing this. That type of post. And I got people feelings. There were feelings all over the floor. There were feelings all over the floor. It was horrible. I am your announcer voice, the comics advocate, Mr. Anderson, who can't ask a question out loud, apparently. How dare I? And with that, we're going to move on to
certain people can ask questions. We're just going to put them in tiers to see what kind they are.
You're a true super duper backer duker nuker fan. You can ask anything you want. You have gold, silver, bronze, platinum, e-card, tag, lanyard to be able to do that. And you only get that.
I love the lanyard. Just to throw the lanyard in there. Oh, and kitchen sink fan. Don't forget.
But for the rest of us fans who just like comics, here's the news for you coming off Wednesday. And remember, we're looking for fellow anchors, reporters, editors, artists, and reviewers to help us get picked on for bringing people the news and asking questions. With that, away we go. Our lead anchor takes it away.
Oh, boy. WandaVision showrunner teases potential post-credit scene. WandaVision, let's see, audience have already been treated to 3 episodes of WandaVision, and it has been undeniably, I have no idea. However, if there was a post-credit scene today, I unfortunately missed it. So I'm going to have to go back and check that out. But darn you, Marvel, for constantly putting in post-credit scenes. I think it's a cheat. But we can find out more about that on comicbook.com.
That's an interesting perception there. You know, why are they cheats? Why are they cheats?
Okay, I'll put it this way. Maybe cheats might be a little bit rough. But you know how it used to be in the old movies? You know, with the Gone with the Wind and everything? You had the credits right up front. You saw the credits. It told you who was all in the movie, who participated in the movie, who was involved in the movie, and then it would show you the movie. Well, they don't want to do that anymore. They want to put the credits at the end, which I'm supposed to say thankfully so, I guess. But they want to keep you there the entire time just to see the end credits scene. If you want everybody to see the credits, go ahead and put them up front. I'm sure, I promise you we'll wait for it after we get a popcorn and our drink. So
after 20 minutes of previews, I don't think I can take 20 minutes of credits.
No, just after a 2.5 hour movie. It's good to do that.
But you know what's really cool? What's on the screen?
Yes, it is Mojo Risen and Voodoo Nations, and this looks like it is the what's the term that they were using, because it's not a crossover cover. It is a help me out here, guys.
What do you call it? It's a connected cover.
A connected cover. Thank you. A connected cover, which is really cool. I remember watching this on the Kickstarters before. So what is the news about this? I don't really know. I'm not seeing a lot of information here.
It's the first time they're showing it next to each other printed.
Oh, okay. That would be nice. Kind of put that in the description, you guys, when you're doing stuff like this, because we want to promote you, but we don't read minds.
Yeah, and the only reason I know that is if you look close enough, it's in comic book bags.
Mm-hmm.
So they're 2 comics. So I know what it was for, and if we scroll, it's going to say, no, I'm just kidding. They didn't say it. They missed the opportunity. We talk about that a lot on the show. But creators working together is always the right thing. So a lot of credit to them. And here we go.
Marvel reveals Black History Month variant covers. With February kicking off in 10 days, Marvel has revealed their full slate of Black History Month variant covers. If you want to get a sneak preview of it, you can check it out at comicbook.com or wait till next week.
Brought to us by comicbook.com. And I said, great covers to show respect. So there we go. And we're off.
Okay, this is from fandomwire.com. The Batman, how Matt Reeves' grounded approach can change the comic book movie genre. Oh, really? So according to Jeffrey Wright, the Batman can potentially alter the course of the superhero movie genre with its realistic approach and comic book ... Head over to fandomwire.com to find out more.
Okay. That's never been done before. Let's see. I play with comic books at Little Giant Comics 2021. Little Giant Old School Comic Show. Artist announcement is Jim Shooter, writer and editor, appearing at the Little Giant Comics Old School Comic Show on April 24th, 2021 in Everett Arena, Concord, New Hampshire. Is that right? All right. So if you haven't gotten a chance to see or talk to Jim Shooter, get over there. Real interesting guy. From what I understand, he's a real friendly guy. They're pleased to welcome the legendary Jim Shooter to the show. I did my first professional comics work at the age of 13, selling a Legion of Superheroes story to DC Comics and going on to write Superboy, The Legend of Superheroes, Superman, and other titles. In 1978, I accepted the position of editor-in-chief of Marvel Comics under the condition that I would be allowed to improve things for Marvel's creators. I introduced royalties and a spectrum of other incentives, rights, and benefits, attracting a who's who of talent. Later, I founded Valiant, Defiant, and Broadway Comics and was the principal creator of their characters and universes. Today, I'm the editor-in-chief of Illustrated Media, a custom comics company. All right. Yep. It's really interesting if you ever get to hear him talk about writing his story for them at 13 years old. It wasn't an overnight success, but he has definitely been in the business.
I would say so. So this is from Scout Comics. The Electric Black is now in development as an adult cartoon TV series with Starburn Industries. Pretty cool. Head over to scoutcomics.com to find out more.
All right. Future State. DC announces next batch of second printings. DC Comics has announced second printings and new covers for more Future State issues. So if you missed out, guess what? You got another chance, including Justice League #1 and Immortal Wonder Woman #1. If you want to know all about the second printings, check it out on CBR.com.
And this is a good sign for the industry, obviously, as we're seeing comics need to be printed again. So remember all those people that said DC would be gone by January? Not so much. DC is actually thriving right now. We congratulate them on their comeback after 2020. Because after anyone comes back from 2020 and has success, they should get an award just for that. Because they're still here. Everyone counted DC and Marvel out. Now, I didn't. We did the news and I said they'd be here. And I remember people being like, you know what you're talking about. Here we go. Second printings.
And this is from JT Malloy, Sapphire Spectre. And we need to scroll down to get a little bit more information here.
From Comic Related Madness.
Well, JT Malloy posted it in Comic Related Madness. But so not bad for my first full IP drawing. And that is, again, JT Malloy. Would love to have some more information as to where this can be found, whether it's being crowdfunded, if you got a website. That would help. That would help a lot. And we're moving forward.
Well, solicitations for April 21 up for on imagecomics.com. Image is a comics and graphic novels publisher formed in 1992. And if you don't know the story yet, go on YouTube and find the story because it is everywhere. And of course, you can check out what they got coming up for Image on imagecomics.com.
Very cool.
All right.
And we've got some art here. We're scrolling.
Nah.
What am I looking at, Rob?
Real quick, this is someone who's been collecting all different types of Indiegogos. We're not going to give a shout out to each one individually just because we don't have technical permission to do this. And this is from, I believe, the Comics Related Madness. So they don't have the same disclaimers our site does. But if you're interested in comics over on Indiegogo, we have been sharing this as we have partnered with Comic Related Madness. But we're not going to directly talk about it, each different one, because we don't know enough about them. But he goes around and he just collects them. So if you want to read off the names, you guys are more than welcome, because that's really all that's in this thread. I'm letting you know right now, I don't know anything else about anything on this screen.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Well, I do know Kozer's also from the what is a popular Facebook group called How to Draw Comics. The administrator over there, Clay Barton, did that one. And I've seen a little bit about Fatal, which is kind of a science fiction aliens type comic. It looks pretty good. So, yeah, that would be the one in the middle we see with the girl in the purple.
Well,
Some fantastic art.
If anybody is looking, from Indiegogo, I've actually put a call to action to get a couple butts in the seats for a Geek Speak on Monday night. I've got Luke Stone so far. I've got 3 more seats available. So if you've got an active Indiegogo or getting ready to launch one, let me know. I will schedule you in.
Just to be clear, that's only Indiegogo, right?
Only Indiegogo for Monday. And again on the 15th.
All right. Batman the Animated Series sequel reportedly in the works for HBO Max. When I hear somebody squeal like a girl, you should have been there the first time I read that. You can find out all about that on comicbook.com.
I need video on that or it didn't happen.
Well, what's interesting now is with the animated series, there's a couple of villains that have come up over the past couple of years that have made have been popular. So it'd be kind of interesting to see if they're going to add those, such as like Black Mask and is it Professor Pig or Pig Professor? I can't remember what his name is. So it'd be kind of interesting to see them add that into the animated series. So get that Tim Bruce, who is the designer, treatment.
All right. And here we go. This is from comicbook.com. Every Star Wars film, TV series, novel, comic, and game in modern canon. Here's every Star Wars film that's considered part of the modern Disney canon. Head over to comicbook.com to find out what that is. The second season of The Mandalorian culminated in the reveal of Luke Skywalker. Boo. Anyway. That's how I felt about it. Yeah. I have my reasons.
We're controversial on this show.
You can send the hate mail to me. I've got broad shoulders. It's all
well,
right.
I will give a word of advice to anybody who goes over there. You better make sure you have a lot of time to sit down and read what all they got, because it's been a lot of canon. A lot of canon.
Sure.
And
for a long period of time.
But let's.
I do want to congratulate Meredith on now being the one who's going to read every Star Wars film.
Hey, you're in.
I made it.
Lanning has now been released from the punishment, and it's now Meredith.
Now I'm going to get all the post-credit ones. Check out Cat's comic book review for the week. The best comic books of the week. What were the best comic books of the week? Find out with my comic book show, where I review Daredevil number 26, Future State Aquaman number 1, Future State Dark Detective number 2, X-Men number 17, and more. You can check her out over on youtube.com, of course. And that's Cat's comic book review, I assume. I guess that's the name of it. Huh?
Cat Calamia.
Comic
okay.
Comic Uno. Look up.
Yeah, otherwise known
Comic
as
Uno.
Comic Uno. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, this is Kevin Feige says Chloe Zhao's Eternals pitch was the best he ever heard. What are they talking about? If Marvel's 21 release schedule stays on track, Eternals will finally be hitting theaters. Head over to comicbook.com to find out more.
And this is also a presentation of the power of the pitch. I'm a big advocate for that. And just imagine if this pitch hadn't been so good, he actually goes on to say he doesn't know if the movie would have been made. So there you go. That's how powerful a pitch can be.
Indeed.
All right.
I mean, you have to give people a reason to part with their money.
Okay. Well, if anyone's interested in what that is, they should give a page a like. Hey, can we scroll down just a touch? Because I lost that first sentence. If anyone's a fan of dark, adult, and edgy humor, then give my page a like. So disregard the fact that I said bunny. This is a rabbit because of the dark adult humor. It's dumb rabbits. Okay. The conception of Connor. Yes, we know how that sounds. Okay.
Oh, Suicide Squad director James Gunn says you don't have to see first film. Well, that's nice. This is from HBO Max, released a new trailer today, and it featured some brand new footage. So head over to comicbook.com to find out what the heck that is from the Suicide Squad director.
And when this dropped, there was actually a literal sigh of relief across the kingdom.
Really?
So they didn't have to watch the first Suicide Squad again. I like the first Suicide Squad, which apparently I like universally hated stuff. So, but not universally hated is Hybrids, the Sons of God, The Killing Field, Part 1. This is number 6 in the Hybrid series, coming from our buddy Luke Stone. It's launching next week. Lots of pledge levels. If you haven't seen it, you need to go check that out when it drops. First day bonus print, mailing list exclusive hollow foil print, and always cool swag. That's going to be on Indiegogo. Remember, it's dropping February 1st. Mm-hmm. That's Monday.
Yep. Get over there and hit the notify button so you know exactly when that goes online. This is from Timothy Joe Himes. Everyone, if you love dark fantasy, science fiction, fantasy, horror, action, mystery, and character-driven storytelling, then we need your backing. Sovereign, the Eclipse Stone, is a mature graphic novel, violence, horror, and nudity. vampires, werewolves, zombies, cyborgs, artificial intelligence, aliens, post-apocalyptic world, and all of the above and more. Please check out our graphic novel. Back us with funding. Help to get this project out there and moving. Help us take this project to product with this full color 58 to 60 page graphic novel. So if we scroll down, we can see where this is going to be found. Is it Indiegogo? Is it Kickstarter? Where are they? They're going to be providing some alternate covers, posters, t-shirts, and more. So make sure that you head over there and jump on this. Sovereign, the Eclipse Stone. Where can we find this? There we go.
I don't suggest this. I just realized that this is a GoFundMe.
Yes, I was looking at that link.
I'm actually going to go in and I'm going to remove this from our show. We do not endorse using GoFundMe as a process. So forget everything you guys saw. Pretend Men in Black just flashed the screen. And moving on.
And I would like to know why, though, Rob. Because, I mean, it is a crowdfund.
No, it's not. GoFundMe is not about crowdfunding. It's about supporting someone. It's a charity. It is literally a charity-based company. Charity is not crowdfunding. There's no accountability. There's no way to make sure you get a book. And he's literally telling people, pay me to make a book and maybe I'll do something with it. It's unethical. It's not the right way. And it's trying to get people, because the GoFundMe is for people with medical conditions. GoFundMe is for people in serious trouble. Where's his trouble? That is not intended to be for that.
Again, people will use it because it's a way to crowdfund. So it is technically a crowdfund, just not.
But you know,
how you?
I'm looking at this. I'm glad we got to see some of the swag from Luke, though, coming up.
Now, I was going to say before we go to that, though. I mean, it warrants a chat about that, though. You know, the difference between the platforms and why we don't want to use GoFundMe, because I think that's important to know about the accountability and stuff like that.
If you join Luke Stone's mailing list, you can get access to this $20 perk plus the first day print. Be sure to sign up and get ready to jump on. Again, that's next Monday. All right. Again, it's going to be on Indiegogo.
And here we go. Vote for the final member of the X-Men today. Fate of the X-Men is in your hands. Go to marvel.com.
And I think they actually had that vote yesterday, and it came out.
Oh, did they?
Somebody surprising. I believe so.
Oh, that might show up later in the news.
This is from Beyond the End of My Street. Hell, Beyonders, deal time again. Come and get your Part 1 copies of Beyond the End of My Street, number 1, number 2, and number 3 at the discounted price of £9 plus post. I think that's what that is, right? We'll say plus post.
It's across the pound.
Yeah.
It's across the pound. I don't know.
That's a few meters away. That's correct. Just £3 per copy. This deal lasts until the end of January '21, or whilst stocks last. Stocks last. All right. And is that the end of our Wednesday? Looks like
our announcer voice guy is on mute. So here we go. If you want your event, Kickstarter, Indiegogo, or news, share it on our site. Send us an email with all the info needed to advocate for your news to COMiX Newswire at yahoo.com. Make sure you send it to COMiX Newswire at yahoo.com, and we will feature you on the news.
Sorry about that, guys. For some reason, it would not let me unmute. I don't know why. It happens every so often on StreamYard. We are going to take a break between the days. This first break, we're going to take a message from an old friend of the show, and he's back to tell us something exciting. We'll be back with Thursday's news.
Hi, I'm Keanu Reeves, and I'm excited to introduce you to Berserker, a new comic book epic that kicks off in comic stores everywhere. It's a dream come true for me to create Berserker and collaborate with legends in the industry like writer Matt Kent, artist Ron Garney, color artist Bill Crabtree, letterer Clem Robbins, and artist Raphael Grandpa, providing character designs and covers, along with the great folks at Boom Studios. Creating and co-writing Berserker is a thrill for me, as I've loved comics since I was a young kid, and they've been a significant influence on me artistically throughout my career. If you want to pre-order your copy, just contact your local comic shop, which you can find by visiting ComicShopLocator.com, and let them know you want them to pull a copy of Berserker for you every month. That's all it takes to join us for this exciting 12-issue series about an immortal man cursed with power, forced into violence, and searching for meaning in a life consumed by chaos. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy it.
And I think that's really cool. Of course, we're creating our own directory for local comic book shops here on our site, but it's good to note there's actually one out there. There were a couple for a while, but a lot of them are very outdated since 2020. So I was kind of happy to see Keanu Reeves talking about that and actually telling you to go to a local comic book shop. That's a win-win for everyone involved. But with that in our rear view, we're going to head on to the Thursday news, including this exciting bit of news, which, by the way, they are live now. I changed all the Thursdays to the live thing, and I went back out and I removed a couple of them, and already funded. And they didn't make a huge splash thing. They put up in the right-hand corner, we funded in 4 hours, and that was it. There wasn't like a celebration. There wasn't a monkey with the clashing beats coming out and a parade behind them because they funded. They moved directly onto stretch goals. So we congratulate CB Zane, and of course, this is in memory of Keith Thomas.
Oh, good. Just in case you forgot, you don't have to watch the Suicide Squad, the first Suicide Squad, to watch the Suicide Squad. If you can't tell the difference, there's a "the" in front of it. So,
and this is from Aaron Humphreys, who posted to the Comics Newswire. I love to draw backgrounds in comics. I get to play and develop the nuances of the world my characters live in. I try to think about how my characters live in the world, and that in return helps me build character into the backgrounds. Does anyone here love drawing backgrounds in their comics? If you do, show them off below. So, and he's also sharing his store, humphreysillustration.bigcartel.com.
all right. How female writers have changed the comic book industry. Women cartoonists have been important to the industry for long, and they've met more visibility lately. But how have they changed comic books? Well, one, they killed off Superman. If you want to check that out, go on to screenrant.com. Of course, I'm referring to Louise Simonson, who has been in the business for years and has helped to bring some fantastic storylines, including the death of Superman. I'm sorry if you don't like it. It was good, especially when I was a kid. So...
And this is from John Celestri, making stories for comics episode 2. Head over to his YouTube channel and give him a like and subscribe. John Celestri has been an animator for a long time. He's got IPs like Snuffy and Zoe and Mega Moose. So head over to his YouTube channel and tune in to The Quest Plot, episode number 2.
So the Sandman cast Gwendolyn Christie of Game of Thrones fame as Lucifer, Boyd Halbrook as the Corinthian, and more. So let me ask you a question. You're a Lucifer watcher, aren't you? The TV show?
Mm-hmm.
And Lucifer, that TV was based on Neil Gaiman, the Lucifer that appeared in Sandman. So obviously these aren't going to be connected universes if we have Gwendolyn Christie playing Lucifer, which I don't know if that disappoints the people because I know a lot of people like Lucifer. But however, if you are familiar with the comic, it really does make sense to have her. She looks just like the character, believe it or not. So that's going to be Netflix now officially announced, which has been people have been waiting for a long time for. They officially announced most of the principal cast for its upcoming adaptation of Neil Gaiman's The Sandman. And you can look to see who that is on comicbookmovie.com.
I don't know how I feel about that yet. I guess I'll have to watch it.
Well, okay, she's a fantastic actress, so she'll be able to pull it off, I'm sure.
Sure. Gamal Hennessy has posted this in the Comics Newswire and the Business of Comic Book Publishing. Comic book publishers like a Wave Blue World and Mad Cave Studios have attorneys protecting their rights and helping to put their business in a position to succeed. If you want a free legal consultation for your comic book, please visit his website. It is creativecontractconsulting.com.
All right. The Flash movie may actually start filming this summer. The long in development live action The Flash movie starring Ezra Miller is gearing up to start filming in the United Kingdom this summer. So we've been waiting for this for a long time. That's as of course Ezra Miller played the Flash in the Justice League movie, and we've been waiting to see how that's going to link into this. There's a lot of cool rumors coming out about it, so we're definitely waiting. You check that out at cbr.com.
Mm-hmm. And this is from, let me see, you scrolled up a little too far, but here's a new piece of Michael Vash called Michael's Awakening from our Nightfall Michael's Awakening comic book. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook and subscribe to our website, Linktree /animation comic scent. And that is from Dwayne Showtime Robinson.
All right. Cool.
That looks like amazing art, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is interesting. Jerry Siegel and Sheldon Mayer, in case you don't know who Sheldon Mayer is, he was instrumental in getting Superman into the comic books. They have their personal papers head to auction. The estate of comic book icon Sheldon Mayer is auctioning off papers of the legend, including correspondence with Superman creator Jerry Siegel. So check it out. See what maybe you have enough to buy one. I doubt it because I don't have it unless it's $1. I doubt. I didn't get to see where that was from though.
Yep.
Besides, over at cbr.com. Okay.
You know, and I guess that's a testament to don't throw out your notes. It could be valuable one day. Maybe not for you, but maybe for your family.
Right.
Who knows? This is from Michael Dolce. One of the most popular rewards at the moment is also the fastest, cheapest ways to get caught up in the Sire universe. You won't find a better deal than this. Check out the Kickstarter he just launched not too long ago. This is the Sire Volume 3 Rebirth, Volumes 1, 2, and 3. There's a digital special for a $20 pledge. Head over there.
All right. And if you've been feeding for some Lion Cat, Saga co-creator says comic return will be worth the wait. After nearly 3 years of hiatus, golly, has it been that long? Saga co-creator Brian K. Vaughan confirms he and Fiona Staples are hard at work on the return of the series. So if you're a fan of Saga, when there's a lot out there, check that out at screenrant.com to get your fix until it finally comes back.
Okay. And this is from Silvio Spati. The text for issue number 2 of Sword of Justice is all revised and ready to go. So the lettering. As I'm responsible for the lettering, I always have a helping hand from my editors and proofreaders at Top Secret Press. They make me look good. We want the best book we can do. And on February, we are back. Yes, back for issue number 3. And everybody can get 1 and 2 as well. Here's the amazing color by Veronica R. Lopez, Sword of Justice. Where is that going to be available? I don't know.
Doesn't seem to tell us.
It doesn't tell us, but we're excited about it because that looks like amazing art.
Well, maybe they'll in the future when they decide to drop it, we'll find out.
Mm-hmm.
But we can't find out about this right now. Newswatch, DC Comics announces Batman and Robin and Howard by Jeffrey Brown. Always a sidekick, never the leading hero, Damian Wayne gets the spotlight in Batman and Robin and Howard, a new middle-grade graphic novel from comic-watch.com. Check that out. It's all about, I'll let you a little bit. Damian Wayne has to go to school. And if you know Damian, that's going to be a problem. So that's
interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be something.
And Mr. Announcer Voice, you want to talk about the Comic Con Highway?
Well, this wasn't actually a trip per se, as much as something you can check from home. As we explored Comic Book Advocate's show floor, the virtual floor that we've had for over 5 years now. Technically, our 6th year we're in this year, and we have a totally new look. It feels and its usability is completely different. We explained it in this video, every aspect of it, including the fact that we are making that brand new comic book store, the local comic book store directory, and the fact that we are running as much as we can into as many creators as we can to get you as much as we can. Check it out today and be part of it if you're a creator by just telling us what table you want.
I got mine. I'm at N3.
Oh boy, Ryan Reynolds says Fox's Deadpool 3 would have seen Wade team up with Wolverine. Would that movie have given fans the Wade Wilson Logan team up they've been waiting for? I think we get that every day if you've been following Ryan Reynolds on Twitter. They are constantly at each other, so I think we still get it, even if we don't get it in the third movie. Now, Deadpool is now in the hands of Marvel Studios, but before the acquisition, a threequel was planned at Fox. Who knows? Maybe they'll go through with it. You can check that out at comicbookmovie.com.
Okay.
You gotta love Ryan Reynolds.
I do. I do. All right. This is from Catch the Crazy. His name is Ultra Crazy. He is so cool. Support our Kickstarter today and become a crazy. And you can pledge over there. Do a Google search, or not a Google search. Go to Kickstarter and look up Crazy with 2 E's. He knows how to spell it.
Ooh. Sandman creator Neil Gaiman endorses Netflix series cast. The Sandman creator Neil Gaiman endorsed the cast for Netflix's adaptation of the comic books and offered his quick thoughts on the show's actors. I have to say, the one that they've got to play the character you see there, Morpheus, who is the Sandman. That's not a spoiler. It's a fantastic choice, I believe. He looks like he could be Morpheus. I think people are going to be waiting with bated breath to see who they're going to cast for Death, but we can check out who they've got now at CBR.com. Some really good casting in there too. It's going to be a very interesting series.
Yeah, looking forward to it. And this is from let's see, X-Men. The early results from the fan vote are in. Marvel posted early results from the X-Men fan vote, with a classic member of the team emerging as the likely candidate to join the new roster. Who is it? We don't know. I don't know, but you might have to head over to CBR.com to find out.
I've got some ideas. All right, with a work in progress, new teams coming to life on Chameleon Studios COMiX. Have you already checked out our Kickstarter for the preview issue? The link is in Fabio Senio's bio on the COMiX Newswire. Check that out. Some cool character designs.
10 classic story arcs that changed comic books forever. Although there have been many important comic book stories, few have had the effect of these arcs that changed the course of entire franchises. Oh, really? Well, to find out more, you have to go to CBR.com and find out 10 classic story arcs that changed comic books forever.
Oh, boy.
Did it really? Did it really? We get a lot of reboots and stuff like that, so I don't know.
These particular pin stories actually shaped the future of how the characters were handled. That's why it's an important part of history, and that's why it's part of the news today.
All right, CBR.com. Head over there.
Ooh.
I saw butt. Hey, it's the news, right?
And a butt apparently is one of the many rewards available in the upcoming Kickstarter for Mythica. Click the notify button to get in on the action. Yes, over at Kickstarter.com, Mythica. Look for the Mythica comic, and it looks like it's going to be issue 7.
Okay, and we're scrolling. Deadpool escapes prison in the most gruesome way possible, with the King in Black wreaking havoc. Deadpool gets a chance to show off his maxed out Constitution stat and make a new friend in the process. What is that about? Head over to ScreenRant.com.
Oh, boy. I can just imagine with Deadpool.
Deadpool's already kind of gruesome. You know, I mean, like, how are you going to get worse?
He chops himself up in a few little pieces and slip himself through. No,
this was bad. This
really?
I saw it and I was like, yeah, that's wrong.
NSFW, right?
No, it actually is. It is safe for work. It's just a weight, like imagining having it done to you. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna have to tune into that now. I'm curious.
No, I'm not. But you know what you should tune into is you only have 1 week left to support Eagle Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, on Kickstarter. Help my fantasy children grow big and strong, says Daphne Lage. Get your copy of issue 1 here. Right, check out Kickstarter for Eagle Raven. Don't miss this book, guys. You don't want to regret it. I promise.
Yeah. And she's already broken over 100 backers. So congratulations, Daphne. Keep on going.
And it's okay if we brag about her.
Yeah. Batman Superman shows why you don't invite Superman to a stealth mission. What? What do you mean he can't be stealthy? Head over to comicbook.com to find out.
I believe it. I believe it. Busted through the walls, look a Kool-Aid man. Oh yeah. The kryptonite. Oh no. And of course, we got some more stuff for Meet Super Crazy. Another reason why you need to pledge today for Catch the Crazies and help us catch the crazies. He is to find out, pledge today. And we appreciate your support.
And this one I'm going to take. Okay. We miss you, Keith. That's from me. And CB Zane says, if you look closely in the lower left corner, you will see Keith himself and his beloved bird, Oz, perched on his shoulder. For those who don't know, Into the Suck was created by Keith Thomas and CB Zane, who's been running the helm after Keith was taken from us all too soon from stomach cancer just a few years ago. This is the epic finale. This has been a journey, and it's really been a missing point, but it's a promise lived out to be. We're so happy to see it. This is Keith's last written work. As far as we know, we're always hopeful that someone will turn something over in the estate, but for now, you can enjoy his full story on Kickstarter by backing it today.
And what is this? The Depraved Empire City? Coming soon. Okay, the Depraved walk among us. Yes, they do. And that'll be on Kickstarter.
Wendy Steen Shaner presents Naughty Fairies Comic Con '21. Check that out at check that out at Kickstarter.com. So used to saying comicbook.com every time.
Mm-hmm. And here we go. Get notified because the Continuum is a library for independent creation, and that's where it's getting born. We have a lot of things that are happening right now. You want to head over there and hit the notify me on launch button and get in on the first day. This is from the Continuum. It is a Terraform Comics product. I am very happy to be a part of that. Rob, is there anything that you wanted to add?
Not for Thursday's news, but stay tuned to the end of Friday's news as we're actually going to announce the next creative team involved in it live on the show today. So stay tuned.
Right. Last week was us.
And with that, we're going to switch over to our next bump. This bump is actually going to be done by me as we switch to comicbookschool.com. This is Creator Connections Panel 1. It's a free PDF download. You can download right now the Creator Connections Panel 1. 144 pages of creative, fortitude, because this was created in 2020. It was creators who didn't back down and rose to the challenge, gave their 8-page challenge submissions, which we can now give to you, including there was some flash fiction involved in this as well. If you haven't downloaded your copy today, now is the time. It's free. There's no reason not to. And Mike was nice enough, who's in giving out all the links to the amazing projects, was nice enough to give an amazing review of each story, just awesomely done. Well, thank you so much. Mike and Trish are awesome fans. We appreciate them tuning in and doing all the things they do for comic book creators out there. And if we have a little time, I will go on and show you guys the new floor. But for now, this is the news of Friday.
All right. Batman Future State proves spoiler is the Bat family's most dedicated hero. That's right, spoiler, folks. And Future State, Batgirl Stephanie Brown, a.k.a. Spoiler, proves that she is the most dedicated member of Gotham City's Bat family. Check that out at CBR.com. Get some character designs on Spoiler. So, I'm sure that's not her real name, though, right?
Stephanie Brown. She was a character named Spoiler for a short bit.
Is that for real?
Yes, Spoiler. Spoiler was a real character.
Oh, okay. See, I wasn't sure if we were talking about that. I'm not familiar with this character. I thought this might have just been a spoiler. That's why we put it in there. She's a real character right now. Right before Future State, she was actually dating Tim Drake, who would become Robin again after Damian stopped being Robin. She has a purple and black outfit. It's kind of cool. Check out the preview that you have right here. The story, I should say, from CBR. Gives you some insight. I'm really liking Future State. I'll be honest. I think that they're
they found something in metal, and they're really coming to grips with it. I will say that this cover always makes me think of Arkham Knights, the games, the Batman games. Every time I see this cover, it makes me think of a video game.
It does. Right. I can see that.
And away we go.
Indeed. Okay, this is only 4 days left until Tesla on Mars hits Kickstarter. If you crave steampunk adventures with a healthy dose of classic science fiction, you've come to the right place. It's 2 a.m. on a gloomy night in the city. While most of the city sleeps, Tesla is hard at work getting his comic book ready to launch. Okay, that's not really part of the story, but you can head over to his laboratory late at night, hit the button below, and that is on Kickstarter, Tesla on Mars Part 1.
Oh my. We see here, we could go down a little bit. Wolverine leads very, very different Alpha Flight in Heroes Reborn teaser. A new teaser for Marvel's upcoming Heroes Reborn features Wolverine leading a new version of Alpha Flight, continuing the mashups of previous teasers. You can check that out at cbr.com. All right.
And this is from Dismay Comics, shared to Indie Comics Connector. We feel ya, Gallows Man. A panel from the Gallows Man #2, of which we're still working on. Gallows #1 will be coming to Kickstarter soon. Something that are ready right now are episodes 40 and 41 of the Comic Brand Comics podcast, or the Store Brand Comics podcast. You can listen to Teo and I come up with a PG-13 movie called Where the World is Waldo, where Carmen Sandiego must help track down the terrorist organization known as Waldo. You can listen to our outtakes from this additional episode. The Store Brand Comics podcast can be heard on most podcast listening apps, or you can follow the Anchor or Spotify links below.
So would that also be considered gallows humor?
Oh, boom.
Everybody gets one. Anyway, TMNT, the Ninja Turtles' new future is darker than the last Ronin. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles just got a glimpse of the worst future they have ever faced, thanks to a time traveler with a very familiar face. Who could that be? Check it out at cbr.com.
It's crazy.
And there's Keanu Reeves again, and we're scrolling. This is from Marvin Wynn. Let's see. There is still time to get your orders in for The Edge and other Second Sight titles in current issues of Previews. You can head over to previewsworld.com to find out more.
Speaking of previews in January, you can call your local comics and comics shops and tell them to order a copy of the comic books you need and want from the list. Check that out right here at Comics Newswire or on creatorsofwrittensins.com.
Okay, and this is what is this? The Illusion Witch? Is that what it said on the cover? Okay, I'm loving this cover and the response we're getting so far on Kickstarter. Please make sure to check it out today and show your support. This is the Illusion Witch Book 1 on Kickstarter.
Okay, now this is interesting. Disney, okay, this has got to be a pun, right? Disney's Frozen helps researchers solve 62-year-old cold case. Really?
Actually, no. There's some science behind. It's an interesting read. I thought this was cool. It literally stems from a CGI component, and the way that ice is actually being formed on their CGI screen led an investigator to realize that there might be something to how what she was doing answers a question from a 62-year-old cold case. So it's really fascinating, actually. This is a science geek moment where I was like, I'm going to put this in, and I don't like Frozen. I let it go.
All right. I'm all for. I'm all for Forensic Files. Love it.
I caught that, Rob. I caught that, Rob. Well, it's nice to know that Frozen is out there helping with cold cases. So,
shake a leg and make a pledge. What is this? This is Catch the Crazies again. Oh my goodness.
And this segment's been brought to you by Cold Stone.
Oh no, not all of Disney's future state reality will come to pass as Infinite Frontier looms on the Disney universe's horizon. Right, Joshua Williamson confirms not everything in future state will directly translate. What does he mean? I don't know. You can find out at CBR.com.
What is called, kids, is good business, listening to your fans and going with what works.
Jared Leto says Morbius crossover with, how do you say that?
Mahershala
Ali's Blade could happen in the future. Sorry, I hate massacring other people's names. I just rather massacre you in fiction. But head over to comicbook.com to find out what that was all about.
And over on YouTube, you can always check out The Legend of the Traveling Chartist has another new home, and I have another new home they're adding. Please subscribe and, of course, hit that notification bell so you can be notified when they load up a new episode.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and if you guys are over on Facebook, make sure there are a couple of threads out there where you can throw your YouTube channels out there, grow and network with each other. It helps. Okay, and this is on COMiX Newswire. Let's see, from CBR.com. Jack Kirby's Fourth World Saga began 50 years ago. In their feature looking back on comics from 10, 25, 50, and 75 years ago, CSBG spotlights the January 1971 start of Jack Kirby's Fourth World Saga. CBR.com to find out more about that story. 50 years.
Right.
Wow.
Yep. I think Jack Kirby passed when I was 11. So I think it's almost 30 years ago. All right. Where did the name Superman actually come from? Well, I guess we'll never know. Could you enlarge that a little bit for me?
What are you reading?
Whatever was up there next, and then you changed the screen on me.
Where next thing is Shepherd, so that's why I'm like lost by what you're talking about. Oh, you're looking too far down. You're skipping a story.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
But I don't. Yeah, the Shepherd.
Right, so here we go.
Superman's next. This is first. They're unrelated.
All right, I can't read that though.
All right, I'll take it because this is taking too long. Check out the unbearably cool variant cover of The Shepherd, issue number 1 by Joseph Storyteller. This gem was commissioned as a joint project of State of Comics, that's in Plymouth, Michigan, and One Stop Shop Comics and Gaming in Clinton, Massachusetts. It is a chase cover, and will be randomly received by store patrons who were wise enough to order a copy. Of course, Team Shepherd has copies. So just a cool variant cover coming to you. This is now part of the Black Caravan issue. Looks like a tarot card. I thought it was cool. And newsworthy. Now on to the Superman.
All right, where did the name Superman actually come from? Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster created Superman in the late 1930s, but the character may have been influenced by Friedrich Nietzsche's 1883 novel. Check that out at ScreenRant.com.
And this is from James Hake. Big news. Congrats to my friends Joseph Schmalke and Rich Woodall. The future looks very bright. The Electric Black. And this is at Scout Comics. Head over to scoutcomics.com to find out more about the Electric Black.
Which is now in development as an adult cartoon TV series with Starburn Industries.
Well, we talked about that earlier in the news. So
Well,
I
that's
think
right.
that was in the Wednesday news. But that's okay. We're giving them extra love.
I think what's interesting, it's supposed to be the first ever American horror cartoon. So, and it's a good comic if you haven't gotten a chance to pick it up. 2 new posters for Zack Snyder's Justice League have been revealed. And with them comes an official release date for when we will finally be able to watch the Snyder Cut on HBO Max. Check them out here at comicbookmovie.com.
Okay, here we go. Trailer prequel comic book series Blade Runner Origins debuts on February the 24th. Head over to dreadcentral.com. That looks pretty cool. I'm a fan of Blade Runner.
All right.
I'll take this one real quick. I didn't have enough time this morning to officially announce this, but we'll be passing the word on that this not only successfully funded, but has flown off of Kickstarter in a very awesome fashion. We're super proud of JW Sims. He ran a good campaign, got it to fund, and it is definitely something cool. And with that, we're going to quickly play you just a little bit, because before we remove it from our actual library of videos, check out why this just isn't Superman. Okay, hold on. Do I not? I might not actually have that one loaded. Oh, I think we unloaded it. Oh no, wait. Here it is. Sorry, wrong place. There we go. Fun stuff. Friends say it looks too much like a rip on Superman. Needs the video to show the difference between. Please don't hate people for telling the truth. No, it's true. You know, James has a different idea of it, and the fact that this kid picks it up, and again, I mean, Superman changed our lives. It's what we all fell in love with as kids. We all want to have that superhero being. But I get the feeling from what I've seen in this, it's a very different story in Superman.
And I just that, like, on purpose, it looks like Superman at the beginning. There's a reason why it's a Superman-esque story, like. But if you stick with us, especially after the first issue, you will start to see the difference between Omni and Superman. So, it's drawn like Superman because that's our superhero archetype. Anybody in the world who thinks of a superhero thinks of Superman, right? That's the first thing that pops into your head. So that's what we want. We want the world to see Superman. But by the end of issue 12, you'll have quite a different picture of Omni.
And I love it. How cool is that?
Very cool. Very cool.
So we congratulate him on that success and making sure that he's got a story ahead to tell. And real quick, because I know about this, we had a traveling story here coming out of Team Shepherd as they asked, do you like vampire stories? How about a vampire bounty hunter who hunts the monsters who changed her life forever? Try Steak by David Byrne and Francesca Fattini. Oh. I'm going to mute for a second.
Okay.
Sorry, there's something going on, and those are one of those Amber Alerts. You might actually be getting one in a minute because we're in Florida. I think it's a Florida one.
Okay. Yes, there it is.
Yeah, Try Steak by David Byrne, and published by the official COMiX official. And Andrea Molinari, I'm trying to call, there it goes, had been in this comic book store and overheard this, and got involved and actually told someone about this book and actually got the last copy sold. So that's pretty cool. When as creators we show up and we're able to help out our friends. So some badass tales from the road. There still are people traveling and going places. Who knew? Happy birthday also to Mike Negan. He turned 50 just the other day. This is a video I took at C2E2 when I was hanging out with Mike, and he had asked everyone to post a picture of them with him together, and that we are together. You can't see me, but I'm obviously the one holding the camera. So that was a pretty cool moment. The little kid was so excited. Happy birthday, Mike Negan. Of course, those who don't know, he runs the artist alleys for C2E2 and New York Comic Con, I'm pretty sure. Very, very awesome stuff. And 50 years, you're a great vintage, my friend.
All right.
Ooh, you want this one?
Sure, I'll take it. Wonder Woman is about to gain an unexpected cosmic partner. Writer Joshua Williamson teased Wonder Woman's new mission in Infinite Frontier with a surprising DC hero assisting as her cosmic partner. And look at that on CBR.com.
All right, moving on. And we heard about the main cast, but this is something cool about Sandman in a different way. This isn't Netflix.
The main cast of Netflix's upcoming take on Neil Gaiman's The Sandman was announced yesterday, and it's now been confirmed that the acclaimed Audible adaptation will return for Act 2 and Act 3. To find out more about that, you want to head over to comicbookmovie.com. And we're scrolling.
And here it is, the announcement that you've all been waiting for. Not only does the Continuum going to be launched live on Valentine's Day, which, by the way, will be launched live as we go live on that Sunday as part of the COMiX News Brunch. So there is definitely some scheming behind the scenes. We are definitely going to give you guys the opportunity to be part of this, and we're super excited about it, of course. And like it says, this is a library for independent creation. This is it. This is what we've been doing. This is a library for independent creation is being born the day that we launch this Kickstarter, and you guys are going to help us. And we know that you guys want some, you know, some stories that are compelling. One of those stories is going to be brought to you by, I'm actually the story editor on this. Mike Seeley is going to be the artist and creator, and Bobby Gregory from Cat Dad and Supermom is actually going to be the writer of this series that is going to tackle heroes in a modern age. So this is going to be an interesting start to an entire bigger universe. And I can't wait for you guys to, because as being the story editor, I can see where they're heading with it. And it really is one of those kind of stories that starts something way bigger. I look at it almost like MCU, how that started something way bigger. And they knew they were starting something way bigger, so they were planning from day one. That's what you're getting from this team. The art is fantastic. The characters are compelling. It's not going to be your average comic book stories of superheroes. There's definitely going to be a back and forth, and the world is going to be looked at from more than just good and bad, but the shades in between. So the Eclipse himself is a character that we're not sure. He definitely is a bright spot in the world, but is he possibly a dark menacing property that could be hurting the Hawaiian Islands? This actually takes place in Hawaii. I defy you, any one of you, tell me one superhero from Hawaii.
I have no idea.
Closest thing I could think of is a Samoan named The Rock. You know, that's it. The Rock, you know, he's the closest thing to a superhero. And, you know, I know that Mike was interested in making something there. I know that Bobby Gregory grew up with watching Magnum PI, like a lot of us did with his dad. So you got that kind of Hawaiian feel from that show. So now you're going to get it in a comic book form as well. So this is just another amazing reveal for you guys and showing you guys what we're doing. We're going to be doing this every show until we go live. We have some big news still coming. We have some great new things to tease you with. And, you know,
It's so hard for me to keep my mouth shut with those.
Yeah, and Eclipse is one of the originals. This is from Mike himself. Hero type characters that will be driving my comic book universe forward. I can't even tell you right now. He's got a cool name for the whole universe, and it's going to be something. I can't wait. I'm already planning for issue number 2. You know, I'll be honest with you all. I'm already planning for issue number 2.
Or 3.
Yeah, my mind's already starting to shift to 3.
I know it is.
Because I'm almost done with number 2. We're serious. This is a 100-issue goal that I have. My personal goal for Terraform is for us to do 100 issues of this. And of course, for those who don't know what the Continuum is, Meredith, do you want to give a go of explaining what the Continuum actually is?
The Continuum is a collaboration of a lot of artists and creators who are coming together to create books. I mean, these are creator-owned books through Terraform Comics. The collaboration is really putting a lot of newbies together with established people who are in the business. And again, making books. We want to create a library of content that people can be proud of, that we can go back and put on our tables. And, you know, anybody who's part of the Continuum has access to that library. So if you are a newbie coming out of the gate and you want to go to a Comic-Con and try and sell some books, guess what? As part of the Continuum, you get access to that, and you can put some of those books on your tables. The idea that, you know, in our group, in the Facebook group, Terraformed Continuum, see, Michael and I, we just started having a casual conversation. He was talking about a story. He's got some art and stuff like that. I said, I'd like to try and write that story. And we were able to collaborate and go back and forth with each other and create a really awesome story that is going to be in issue 1 as well, called Reapers. And just seeing the other people going through their process and saying, hey, I've got a story too. What's the next step? That has been something that's so important to me because last year I took on the mantle as the comic noob because I wanted to learn the process. And that's what we're doing. I mean, step by step, we're looking at it from the editorial process, from art, from collaborating to, just going back and forth with lettering and things like that, because we want quality books. We're not just going to take any story that's out there and throw it into a book. We're working on it because we want to level you up. Rob, is there anything you wanted to add to that?
We're going to know that we're talking about doing, and this is all the gateway into all the things. And I know some people who said, well, Terraform, it's coming out slow and they've made some mistakes. You're damn right we're coming out slow, and you're damn right we made some mistakes because we are trying to change the landscape of comics. You don't do that without trying new things and making the mistakes as you're going. And all those mistakes, that's just pivoting for us to do even grander things and learning how to make it work the way it should work for you, the fans. The goal of every meeting that I have is, well, how does this impact the fans? What does this do for the fans? Second is, how does it help the creators? For those who don't know, Terraform's main goal, and me and Meredith have talked about this, everyone wants to be the next Marvel. Guess what? Terraform doesn't want to be Marvel. We don't want to be DC. We don't even want to be Image. We want to be the bridge. We want to be the bridge from the new creators all the way to the pros that everyone gets to work on. We want to be the bridge that they come and hang out with on the time between working in Marvel, and when they're not done working in Marvel, they come back and walk on our bridge. We want to be that bridge of creation that brings all creators together and gets them to the other side. Famously, I said one time, the reason I created Comic Book Advocates was because I saw a forest and I knew that there needed to be a highway. And I built that Comic-Con highway. That is our virtual floor, which we're going to look at in one moment. This is a different need. I see a need for a bridge. So 5 years later, with the help of all the founders of Terraform who believe in what I'm saying and what I'm talking about, because we've all done it as creators, let's just all shut up and create comics. That's the continuum. If that was going to be the thing on the T-shirt, it'd be shut up and create comics. That would be it. Let your creations speak for yourself.
And I really do feel, just to piggyback off that just a tiny bit is, I was serious about leveling up. Everybody who's in there, we're collaborating with each other. It is a positive atmosphere where we can build each other up and create books, create good books.
That's right. And with that in mind, we have changed the comicbookadvocates.com site just a little bit. We brought back the buttons instead of the plaques on the side. Just so we could add in Geek Insider up there. You can go to the CNW newsroom. You can go to Comic-Con forecast, which is our Route 21 this year. You guys can just click on that and go where we're still working out the bumps, honestly. 21's not been an easy year to cover, but we're covering it. We're making it happen. And of course, our crowdfunding, you can see represented by Kickstarter and Indiegogo. Notice there's no GoFundMe. I wonder why. And we are going to go over here to where it says the Artist Creator Alley. This is huge now. We might actually change that to comic book. Well, we might just call it the Indie Comics virtual floor. We'll figure it out because Geek Insider, all your geek needs in one place. We'll probably just make Geek Insider now. Because we need the room for this now that this is done. And here it is. And people had some questions. That's why I made the video. I'm going to quickly try to tell this to you in like 60 seconds and less. There's a section for creators. Look at all the creators who are filling this in now. Every day, I have requests right now that I have to fill people in for there. And there's Meredith right there. And if you guys are wondering, these images, you can actually open them up if you're on your computer. You can blow up the images. Those images are not small by default. They're small because they're housed within a table. It's kind of cool. So I was telling people, use business cards. That's why I use that for Meredith, because it has some of Meredith's information. You go up here to mine, right-click it, and then, I don't know, when I do that, can you see the menu bar that pops up, Meredith? Because I'm in a different browser, right?
No,
okay.
We can't see that.
You go to something that says open image in another tab. That's a right click. And all of a sudden you get my entire business card. It's kind of cool, right? More importantly, if you click on them, it actually takes you to a different site. Now, Meredith has a tree, right?
I do.
I decided to go ahead and make myself a chain link.
Aww.
Yeah. Here it is. Look at that. Look how cool that kind of turns out.
I like it, Rob.
Right? So I've got a chain link.
I use Linktree.
Yes, or Linktree, which works perfectly fine, guys. There's nothing wrong with Linktree. A lot of people are using it. I just have a site. If I have a site, I think that I should use said site and not get someone else. That'd be like me having a restaurant and going next door to McDonald's to get the fries.
Well, you know, the
No!
difference is Rob, the difference is you're in your site almost every single day doing updates and stuff like that. A lot of people, their site is collecting dust, you know,
Now,
so find them where they hang out.
But Meredith, could you just talk to them about what an evergreen? I could not believe this. A lot of people don't know what an evergreen link is.
An evergreen. All right, so just evergreen content means it withstands the test of time. So if you've got something like even the news, when we talk about the news, that is not evergreen. It's almost old news by the time we even report it. Evergreen stuff is when you're talking about quality content that withstands the test of time, and it's the same thing with your links. You know, you can send a link to your Kickstarter, but your Kickstarter has an end life, you know, so you want to send them to some place. If you want to send it to Kickstarter because you don't have a website or a link tree or really all that active, and you want to really direct people to your Kickstarter, send them to your profile. That is evergreen. Your Kickstarter, an old one or one that's getting ready to launch, that's fine for promo and stuff like that, but that is not evergreen. It has an expiration date.
Now, I know Meredith had pointed out on social media that these look like they were different sizes. To try to get all the creators to fit within one size would be a headache and a half, and I just do not have the energy, time, or even the will to go in and make everyone their own separate one. You're talking about over probably 400 tables by the time we're done. I'm not doing that. But one of the cool things, and this is what I was trying to tell you on social media that might not have translated well on social media, seeing is believing. Notice how this top row, when it's totally filled in, all the images kind of go to the same size. It's because this is what's so cool about the new technology. The tables itself has a self-guiding mechanism that actually changes the size of the images per row. So I thought that was kind of cool. So if you notice something's small and something's bigger, that's just because it hasn't been filled in. As things fill in, they all sort of get the same height. And again, some of these images are just the way they come across. Like Satane down here, it's a really cool image, but just the way that the parameters are set about it, it can't really expand itself too much. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to open it because this is one of the cool features. See? You can see where she is on all these different sites. Now, remember, these are linked. So when you click on them, you get taken to their sites. So that's the cool thing about this being a virtual floor. This is now the home to comicbookadvocates.com URL, meaning anyone who types in comicbook.com comicbookadvocates.com, sorry, comicbookadvocates.com will instantly be taken here. So we're talking about thousands of views over the next 5 years, because the commitment is that this will be built and kept the way it is for at least 5 years with a few upgrades. Hopefully in 5 years, just like we did 5 years ago, we see a huge jump in the online ability to change your sites and add new cool features like this is, and we'll see that. And of course, here we have the publishers and imprint row, which you'll find Terraform and Terraform Continuum, because of Continuum is where the actual Continuum is built. So when you go through Terraform Continuum, the end result is being part of the Continuum series, which is ongoing. We have a panel room, which is all of our stuff on YouTube. We have the Fandom Corner, which gives you comic book franchises, podcasts, content creators, fan sites, site affiliates, advocating network, vendors, entertainment guests. So we're trying to look at this the whole way. And if you're wondering, well, why isn't there a cosplayer? Isn't a cosplayer an entertainment guest? Who said the cosplayers weren't allowed? The only thing we ask is that if you do link it to your OnlyFans account, it doesn't go to a site which is instantly nude. Like, because some people might not know from this link what you're offering. So just have a landing place that can be shown on Facebook, but offer whatever you want. You know, even with Barbara Unleashed, if you go to Barbara Unleashed on the franchise here, you'll see my site. My site doesn't have explicitness on it, nor will you see it. And this is actually our Facebook group. There's nothing explicit here. It's a safe place for them to kind of look at the site and look at what you want to do. You know, the explicit stuff, honestly, if it is explicit or if it has nudity, which is really what some people call explicit these days, should be hidden and away from the public view. But we also have some Comic-Cons who have affiliated with us, Convention Scene, who's our affiliate, Comics in Kids' Hands, Comic Book School, who's also not only a publisher, but a content creator because they're educational content that they give us. We have the hall area, which is a vendor area, which the Comics Newswire is in there because no vendor has come to us. But yes, we are going to allow vendors. I'm not actively seeking vendors. I'm actively seeking, mind you, I am actively seeking creators, but not vendors. So you won't see me there. But you might see in the vendor area, because some no one thinks about, what about printers? Printers are vendors. They are. There are vendors to print our stuff. So you're going to see some printer. I know you are because I already talked to a vendor. So you'll see, I mean, a printer. So you see that. And then we even have a lobby, Meredith.
I was going to say even like toys, you know, anybody who does toys who wants to make their character, you know, their IP into an action figure. Why not put them there in vendor?
And don't go far with that idea because I do have some more to talk about with that in just a second. But we also have the educational library where you can get educated in the ways of comics using these educational resources from sites that you should subscribe to continue your comics education, to titles that you should read to know the history. Yes, Meredith.
Now, do me a favor. Go back to lobby. What was that for?
Lobby's just extra space. You know, at a Comic-Con, everyone's got a lobby, but you put things in the lobby. So some of the things I put in the lobby so far are things that didn't really have a home, like the Independent Creator Awards. That really shouldn't have a table, but it fits at the show. And if you think about it, if you went to the show, it'd be perfect in the lobby. Unlike our virtual con, the lobby's not the front door. It's all the way at the bottom, but it's listed. But again, the awards is only once a year. It's one time of the year for about 3 months, and then it goes away. Hall of Fame, it is going to be an evergreen thing, but doesn't update. It only updates once a year. So again, they're listed, but they shouldn't have been mixed into a different area. So, and even the Comics Newswire being in there makes sense. Sure, we could get a fan table, but again, it was one of those things that I thought it just fit well there, and that's what it is. And, you know, we have the educational resources, which are super important. Now, this is pretty big. This is the comic book shop directory. Not only are we going to be putting a printer section in here, but your local comic book shop can be part of this. Thank you, by the way, for the art from Mike Seeley. That's actually part of the Comic Book School Panel 1 PDF that's out there. That's part of my story. Mike gave me some art for one page, and I love this. This is actually a little me, believe it or not, getting a comic book. So I was pretty proud of that. And this is, you see right there, we have the floor that it connects to. Our first show, our first comic book shop is Florida, but I can tell you right now, guess who, I'm gonna tell you who's coming next. Guess who just sent me a message while we were live?
Do tell, Rob. Do tell.
Midtown Comics.
Very cool.
So Midtown Comics says they want us to address for all 4 of their stores. So we are going to be adding Midtown Comics, which means New York is going to be going on. And I know what you're thinking, Meredith. There's like something like 2,000 comic book shops in the U.S., right? We're hoping to find 2,000, definitely. So it would look kind of cramped if we just put them in here, even if I separated them by state. So here's the deal. As a state gets more than 4 to 5 places, like New York might be the first one to actually get its own separate thread that will just have the places for New York. So you know it, because New York is so big. Florida is going to need one, I'll tell you that right now, because Florida has the Orlando area, the Tampa area. Even down here, my local comic book shops I'm going to be reaching out to and trying to get part of this. This was my answer, and Meredith knows this. Last year, I kept getting told as a creator I didn't do enough to help local comic book shops, which I'll be honest, as a creator, I found a slap in the face. What am I supposed to do to help people that won't even let me in their stores? When I've come to them and I haven't been part of it, how am I supposed to help them? When I put my ego away and I realized that maybe there is a way to help those stores, this is what came about. Now, one of the things I do want to put is I put in the submissions, I put, are you accepting submissions from indie comics? So I asked that question. So this is, and I said this on my video yesterday, and I'm going to end this with right here. Horse, welcome to water. I can do no more after this to help them. We have made an entire section on our site that I am willing to put all your information in there. I didn't add hours because hours seem silly, link for store. Plus, they do change. especially during the COVID era, I did not want to worry about that. With all that said, I mean, I've built something here. You guys do with it what you will. I had a creator go, well, I don't know why it's worth it for me to put myself in your virtual thing. And I was like, then it's just not worth it for you, then just don't do it. And they were like, what? I was like, yeah. I was like, dude, I'm not selling spots. This is all free. Everything here is free. If you don't see the upside of thousands of people tripping on you and going, well, who's that? I can't help you. You know, like you and creators, I'm going to say this in comic book shops. I'm going to say the same thing, and we're going to leave it at that. And hopefully Mike's still around.
I'm here.
Hopefully all you guys take advantage of every opportunity to market yourself. That's what this is, a marketing opportunity. Go ahead,
I just wanted to pop in here. I don't know why my dogs are barking, but you know, part of the reason why you want to be involved in things like that, any opportunity to get a backlink to your website, to your social media, or anything like that is a smart idea. Backlinks count when it comes to the algorithms and finding you higher on a search engine. So when you have those backlinks, I know this from building websites before, you know, when you have other sites who are linking back to you, you show up higher. And why wouldn't you want that? Especially if it's free. Jump on board. And like what Rob was saying, horse, here's water. It's up to you whether you're going to drink or not. You can walk away. Nobody's going to twist your arm for it. But why are you walking away from opportunity?
Yeah,
it's just silly.
It amazes me when creators do that. Like, hey, I have this thing that can give you free promotion. Oh, well, I don't see the benefit for me. I don't argue with people at that point. Like I've gotten to the point where I'm like, cool, thanks for your time. And I'll thank them for their time. And they'll come back to me like, hey, wait, aren't you going to, I guess people expect a hard sale. And no, I don't do the hard sell. Like what, me promoting you for free wasn't enough? No, we're good. I'm done here. Thank you. I'm not giving you something for doing something for you. But there are so many great creators who are very excited, including Lanning, who want to be seen in this. And I told people, I'm like, just being in the presence of some of the other creators, it says something. And I told this to a creator who's like, I don't think I'm ready. Flat out said to me, I don't think I'm ready. And I'm like, here's the thing. You're never going to be ready until you start believing in yourself. Do you sell a comic book for money? They're like, yeah. It's like, then why don't you belong? So this is a moment. Like if you're a new creator, but you put something out there, this is when you get involved in things like this. This is the game changer you needed, you wanted, and this is your moment. Grab it and run with it. You know, and we have people from all over popping up, and we're going to even have this Sunday brunch is going to be a great show. We have possibly Wendy coming on from that fairy fantasy thing. We have Frank, who's going to be doing Bob's Burger drawing live. We have a cool Scout comic where the artist and actual creator are going to be part of it. And I have to send that to Meredith today and Lanning so they can actually look at it. We might have one or two other creators. We're going to have a packed show because we wanted to end the month right. This is it. The end of January. We made it. We made it into the first month. A lot of people betting against us. There could have been bad stuff, but here we are at the end of the month. So I want to celebrate it with all you amazing people. We launched all the stuff we wanted to, and here comes the continuum. We're taking our time. We want it to be right. It launches on Valentine's Day because the continuum is for the love of comics. It really is, just like the site. This is about loving comics, and there's so much. Just wait till you hear what we have planned. This is just the beginning. All right, speaking of the beginning, this is now the end. So I'm going to pass it back to C. Michael Lanning.
All right. I guess we're ending it. All right. I'm C. Michael Lanning. I guess we'll see you on COMiX book brunch Sunday at 11. Meredith? All
right. Yeah. Sunday COMiX brunch, 11 a.m. Sunday morning. That follows Sunday Funnies with Randy Zimmerman. But hey, so you guys can follow me over at linktree.com/MEREJ99. That is where you can find all of my social media. Thank you to everybody who supported me on my Kickstarter. I really appreciate it. I will be working on those original stories that are going to be in there, and that's about it. Head over to terraformcomics.com, sign up for the mail list, and go to Terraformed Continuum. It's the Facebook group. We should definitely drop a link in here so people can easily follow that. On that note, you guys, thank you for tuning in. We will see you soon. I'm Meredith Loughran from Geek Insider. Talk to you later.
Comics are awesome.